New Busa is going at a geometric progression, not arithmetic. Because virtually from here to all those places now, I think you have to just buy now. You can't get them. They have all been acquired, waiting for development. We all know also that the only sustainable means of water supply is the public water supply scheme from the government. We all know the cost of boreholes to be drilled now. It is beyond a common man. We all know the maintenance of the borehole is not for the common man. And we all know the environmental challenges this brings over a long period of time. It might be over 100 years after we have passed away. But these are issues. So we felt at the local level for us to take ownership at the community level so that this intervention would outlive all of us in this hall. Because I don't think, except only maybe my boy Kisanti, that can live the next 50 years on earth, that he will still be 50 years by now, 170 years. Kuru now knows how to sound. But my son Kisanti, I guess by the grace of God, he will still be around. So he can give memory to every other person for what we are doing today. The forefront, sir, is the issue, this ownership we are talking of. We as a community, under the local government, we are stepping in to take it that it is our own. It is built on our land. The usage is not by anybody in Sabo, in Mokwa, nor in Mina. It is us. If DPO lives here today, I think he's going to go back with memory that I can use either to share. But if there are not there issues, it is not acceptable anywhere that communities that are by this riverside don't have water. If you go to Bauchi, the distance where they move water from the Alkalari Dam to Bauchi Dam is more than 60-70 kilometers, and yet they are able to move water for public use. So ours here is just a stone throw. So we want to thank again Hyppadec, Niger State Government, send our glad tidings to your MP for this intervention. Sooner or later, we'll pay him a thank you visit. Though somebody said we don't need to pay him a thank you visit. I said yes, we need to. He's doing his job, but for him to have done it for us, I think we need to appreciate him. If he doesn't do it, are we going to hold him responsible? No. So we pray that Hyppadec will continue to have our listening ears and do a lot. And like Oliver Twist, we are coming up with a lot of issues as related to the environment for Hyppadec to look at it with a view to entertain all those issues. Besides the ownership, the second issue and the very most important issue is the issue of payment. Here, I'll be hammering hard because this is where the issues lies. You want to enjoy everything, but you don't want to pay for the service. Today, we are enjoying services like telecommunication, services or provision of road infrastructure for us to move, and a lot of things. There's yet to pay for it. But when it comes to certain things, here we now sit down and believe that because we are receptive, we will not pay. These are issues, your highnesses, that we have to bring to the fore before you. If I'm in a receptive building, why am I buying my one? It's true. I will tell you, how many times I go need receptive building. These are issues. We must look at it practically and come out with decisions that will make us to pass these things to the generation yet unborn. Because we are seeing the light we have. That one is a different thing. And that we have justification to some gaps in that thing, most especially the resettlement building. So that issue, there are issues we should look into dispassionately. We shouldn't look at it because I like your face or I don't like your face. Then, in the course of our visit to the water supply scheme, we did find out that they don't even have staff. Besides the area manager, some few, mostly they are contract staff. So is this how we're going to go? So we are thinking that at the community level, after this, let us find a way of engaging technical minds, our younger boys, who must have gone through whether an ND or technical school training, whether electrical or what have you, so that we can take them on ad hoc basis where we are supporting, paying them some peanuts to be able to move while they are understanding the people on ground. If at a later date we see their seriousness, we can as a community rise up to the government to see how it can be integrated into the mainstream service. If we don't do this thing, nobody will do it for us, because there is life, there is death. I never knew that Martha Sule, who works there, is even on contract. And when you look at it, Martha Sule is getting tired. Though Zagome is tired, but he's not telling people he's tired. He says he's retired. Zagome did not retire because it's because he's tired. So, gentlemen, your Royal Highness, these are issues we want to look at. Then we also want to look at the issue of security of the properties there. So at the local government level, we are at the verge of we are at the verge of seeing how we can support both the intake level, the treatment level. We have built a booster station somewhere there, and the reservoir in Kadaribu. So these are places we need to man with all seriousness, because the bad guys can always come to do what they want to do. We will not take that with any levity. So the DPO, ably with others in the sister agency, please, we will need your support in this area. And that anybody found wanting, we don't want, His Highness told me, don't come in the name of local government, come in your personal name. Don't come in the name of Great Council, come in your personal name. Anybody that, because we must shift from the issue of is my child to letting them know what is right. So we want to also engage the youth under the direction of the DPO. We'll be talking that some of these boys who are into community policing also, so that there can be surveillance time to time on those water lines. So like I have said, as part of the takeaway here, we want to start by having water users committee. So we'll be coming to all the districts here. Within your district, we will be looking at area. Let me cite an example. Like the Antoro, that community up to General Hospital that comes this week, up to let's say around Richamanda. We can look for trusted people who are community leaders, both youth and what have you, and they have a say. Put them in that committee and that local level. They will ensure that there is prompt payment of water bills as at when done. And if there are issues, they will be engaging to report to the higher ground. And at the local level, local government level, we want us also have that committee at the topmost so that whether quarterly, half, by annually, we'll still come back here to report progress, challenges, and what we have seen. So that together, that is where the ownership comes. We are taking our destiny in our hands. So I feel I should bring out that. Then one of the gaps we are seeing today, where you begin to see unrest and issues, is the fact that there is a wide communication gap between service providers and consumers. So this we have told the area officer and water board at large to ensure they engage. But the engagement will not leave it at their hand, will always be knocking. So that what the committees from the local level up till the community level, up to the local government level brings out, they will be hearing, then we will see how to improve services. But for you to improve that, you must employ technical hands, like I have said before, and commercial people. So part of the committee will be forming part of the commercial listing, so that in my area, if we were paying and you were not paying, then we disconnect you. If you want to enjoy services, you must pay for it. Somebody will buy food, and in a week, is recharging upon the property is shouting, is recharging at least 1,000 naira, and you are telling me that person is poor. It's not poor. It's a misplaced priority. But these are arguments for other days. With your place, certain things I have to say practically. A phone today, the cheapest you can get is less 15,000-20,000. And if it's not buying the phone, they recharge. So if you can pay your water bill, you enjoy the water. But you now want to be enjoying the water at the expense of others, is not possible. So these are times we are going to come up with for committees to look at. Then we want to highlight the role of plumbers. We are going to hit hard in this area. We want to say, at the local government level, any plumber that is seen is hard, is found wanting, or going to draw illegal lines. First, we are going to make sure you are prosecuted alongside your consumer who you think you want to do it for. It's even illegal. Let that person call you, then show him the way. Let him go to the area of it, do the right thing. Then he can engage your services. Then because it's you that know sharp, it's a lie. Because those pipes that were laid, taking water, from the 80s to date, it's close to 40 or thereabout. And a car that is even in 40, where are the Peugeots is there? They are not even in circulation any longer. So we cannot guarantee or ensure 100% performance. So definitely, as the team goes up, we'll be finding ways of making sure these things are changed. So the plumbers team here, that is why we did invite you, because your role is very, very necessary, and we need your cooperation. So that at the end of the day, if I start prosecuting Mr. Moses, he shouldn't say it's because he's not into someone. That will be your first impression. But like someone, for you to have stayed the last 3 decades that I know here, you cannot say, because where you came from originally, the life you have spent here, I don't think you'll be privileged to spend it here again. So invariably, this is your home. And I will appreciate what you do. But we must say, God is paid, is paid. Then traditional rulers like Abraham, then our mothers, the new mother has ably sent her team, represented by her news. Our mothers need to play, they need to play that role. market women, Sarkin Kaswa. We equally call the Sarkin Hausawa, Sarkin Fawa, because their abattoirs and a lot of those things need all those water. Okay. So we cannot continue to fold our hands. So we need their cooperation to understanding. Equally youth, we have the pressure groups, but this time around I think if we are not careful, we are going to be on a parallel shift. But I guess if you are mobilized enough, you are going to do the needful, then we can move forward. Because if you are taking ownership, it is a responsibility on you. You don't just make big statements. You must lead by example. So that when you talk, people will be able to see the angle you are talking from. And on this note, sir, these and many more, I will pause here I will call the area officer of Hyppadec to lead us with a few slide presentations so that we can see where we were before and where we are now.
According to National Geographic, there's the same amount of fresh water on Earth as it has been, but population explosion and extreme weather has brought on by climate change have caused a severe water crisis. It has prompted the United Nations in just 2 years to have estimated that 1.8 billion people will live in areas characterized by water scarcity. This puts pressure on people's lives and livelihood and has exponentially negative impact on women and girls, because water affects the women and girls because they are the ones that stay home most of the times. Water is at the heart of National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, and that is why we have been taking actions to conserve this natural resource, enable our communities to do the same, and make safe water and sanitation a reality. This project has been commissioned since 1985, and since then we haven't had this holistic approach towards rehabilitation of this project till the president of Hyppadec, which has came on board since 2010 but came into act in 2021. Since then, the commission deemed it fit to take a need assessment and see where to help the various communities that are within member states. And that has to do with us here was the water board facility. We've provided solar boreholes, hand pump boreholes all over the various communities, but we realize that these facilities don't take time. Before you know it, they break down, and some, they even lose the aquifer because some of the aquifers have already been dilapidated. We provide a facility worth millions of naira, but it will not stand the test of time. And that was the essence why the project of this water board has to take place. As you may recall, on 9th of December 2022, we have had our first engagement with stakeholders where we met on discussing the various components that has to do with this project. As the Vice Chairman ably stated that in February 2023, site handover took place at the Niger State Water and Sewage Corporation's area office. And on 7th July 2023, the management of the commission, led by our amiable leader and Chief Executive Officer, Alhaji Abubakar Sadiq Yelwa, accompanied by his counterpart from the Niger State Water and Sewage Corporation, made a tour towards this facility, thereby taking concise efforts towards making this work a reality. It will interest you all to know that we have started destroying this facility, and this has progressed remarkably since the 14th of June 2024. The essence of us gathering here, once again, is to help you understand further the details that comprises of all these projects done so far. As we are still on the board, we have, that due to the volume of the project, it has been categorized into 9 slots. which are Lot 1, technical aspect. The technical aspect has to deal with every component of the mechanical and electrical aspects of the project, and this was contracted to the KSB Pumps and Valves Nigeria Limited. Lot 2 covers mobility. Mobility encompasses the project vehicle as well as motorcycle utilized during the happenings or daily runnings of the project activities. Lot 3 covers the construction of the booster station. The booster station is meant to enhance the production or distribution of water, because we've all observed from the statement of the Honorable Vice Chairman that Busa has increased exponentially. Thus, the need for us to provide a booster station that will, inshallah, attend to those from other angles. Places like the General Hospital area was formerly not in the first project. Then Lot 4, we have the construction of Brightwater tank. This tank has a capacity to store 1 million liters of water. This will be used to enhance the distribution of water to those other lines. Lot 5 and Lot 6, as you can see on the board, Lot 5 and Lot 6 cover the supply of chemicals. Supply of chemicals which include aluminium sulfate. In total we have 2,700 bags, which is equivalent to 135 tons. Soda ash, 100 tons. HTH chlorine, 82 drums. This is classified or categorized into two sections because of the volume of it. We have Lot 5 and 6 covering that. Then Lot 7 has to do with pipe network extension work of 7 kilometers. This is contracted to Raja Nigeria Limited. Lot 8 covers the maintenance of existing pipelines. The existing pipelines are those within the township, and that's why maybe people in the township may not see people working along those lines. Why? Because this has to commence once the activities of the project is in full operation. That's when you test run so that the water will now find way through the township network, so that the staffs of the Niger State Water and Sewage Corporation will now go around and start fixing those equipments. Lot 9, this covers the civil work of the whole project, which has to do with structural renovation of the staff quarters as well as perimeter fencing. For the purpose of this gathering, we have simplified all these components that I've mentioned into 3. 1, installation. Installation has to do with servicing and installing of all pumps. As you may see on the board, the Commission took the liability to provide 2 pumps to all of these components. Why? Because one should work and the other one should stand as standby, so that in the long run we can be able to sustain this project without facing any challenges. Because of the magnitude of the project, we have provided 2 numbers of submersible pumps, 2 numbers of high lift pumps, 2 numbers of air blowers, 2 numbers of pumps for the operation of booster station. And all these were installed and serviced by the KSB Pumps and Valves Limited. We have laboratory equipment. The lab formerly in the treatment plant was not functional, but with the commencement of this project, we have a operational and functional laboratory equipped with all the modern equipment so as to have a sample of what will be distributed to the populace. We have electrification of the booster station. For those that pass through the Millennium Quarters towards Senior Camp, we see the booster station situated there in the area. We've provided 500 kVA transformer for the operational activities of the station, and there also is located a Brightwater tank, which is made with galvanized steel so as to stand the test of time. Then the second part is the civil work. That has to do with the beautification of all the projects, and this was conducted by AY2 Nigeria Limited. I brought this so as to show you of the development achieved so far. This is one of the pumps being transported towards the pit. Then here's the pit. the pump being gradually dropped into the pits. Next. Here is the platform after the work has been concluded, and here you will see two submersible pumps, all submerged inside the water. Here is the control room. The control room houses the control panel for the submersible pumps. Here is the former control panel. You see the shape it was in. Something that was created since 1985, of course, it needs repairs. So as God will have it, this is the new one. The new one is one that has to do with the whole process at the intake. Next. Going further, here's the treatment plant. The treatment plant structure before image has shown us the state of the facility, and that is the after the rehabilitation. Then we have the filter gallery. As you can see, the filter gallery in this area, there are no water formally while work was going on. But as you can see now, where the water board staff were able to pump water, and we have that channels filled for distribution and testing purposes. Going further, we have the high lift pumps. These are where water from the treatment plant is distributed towards the Hyppadec reservoir. You will see the before image and the after images. Next. Here is the laboratory. The lab is completely refurbished, as I told you earlier. It has been equipped with air condition as well as refrigerator for normal or to keep up with the temperature. Then the chemical room. The chemical room comprises of equipment for the treatment of water. And here is the before image and the after. Here is the staff quarters. Here is the state of affairs of the staff quarters. It has been completely ravished by, is it animals, plants and all. You have trees even growing to some extent. So here was the process of being renovated. Then here is the complete structure that has been renovated. So this is the after image. Next. Here is the convenience. Every staff needs somewhere to at least have a rest to convenience. So the toilet, no one can even enter there formally, but now it has been equipped with showers as well as water system closets. Here is the newly built booster station. The booster station houses the booster pumps, two of them as I've earlier stated, then with the control panels for the operational activities of the booster station. The booster station also houses the breathware tank. Here was the process of construction as well as the final stage. Then the following slide shows us the supply of all these chemicals. Next. During the evacuation of sludge at the Hyppadec reservoir, due to accumulation of sludge, the Hyppadec reservoir has to be completely cleared of all this mud. So we now use that opportunity, since the renovation is going on, to clear that facility. And here is the after process. This image shows us a cross-section of pipeline extension work that has taken place throughout the project. Thank you so much. Today you will find these pipelines crossing all over our communities, and these communities, we have dump sites, disposals being laid around all over the community. Disposals are not being properly dumped, and these pipelines are carrying water that we consume. So we are hearing of the issue of cholera in Nigeria. Providing portable pipe water is a good thing, but maintaining it as well as treating it is another thing. After treating it, you find pipe working or finding itself under disposable dumps as well as dump sites. And these dumps, if not clearly or satisfactorily dumped, will affect the standard of this water. That's why I want to urge us all, as community involved in this activity, we should please practice the act of sanitation in our society. for safety of our well-being. Thank you so much.
The new Busa Water Board was constructed late 70s, around 79 to early 80s before the completion. And new Busa Water Works has been in existence 1983, August 1983. Since then we are in Kwara State. Since the commissioning of Water Board, up to date, there was no total maintenance and overhauling of the water scheme, not until the intervention of Hyppadec. So all Borgu people, we have to thank God and appreciate the effort of Hyppadec. When the project want to start it, they sent a team to visit the water scheme. And the project was New Busa and Yaoudi. That is the reason I say my appreciation will not be completed without mentioning Engineer Ida, because as I'm speaking now, the project, the New Busa Water project is almost 80% completion, and that of Yaoudi is not up to 40% present. So we have to appreciate his effort. Now, we, as the former speakers explained, at the intake, the pump there is 2. Actually, we have completed the installation there. We have completed the installation of the 2 pumps, and we have tested them, and they perform okay, excellent. We have stages in the water scheme, and I will explain every stages, and I will tell you the challenges we have there. At the water intake, the challenge we have there, we have 2 challenges. One, we have fishermen. The 2 challenge is security. The fishermen, they went there to fish, and sometimes if the pumps are in operation, they are working, you know, they have pressure, they are taking water, so in that place anything that comes there, they will draw it near. So their net, sometimes we hang on the pumps, the pump will suck the net, and it will fold the impeller, and sometimes we discover their cause of burning the pumps. So we have our traditional fathers. Please, our message to the fishermen, they should stay away from that area. The security aspect is we have no single security. Though we explain to the local government, and the vice chairman has promised that we give us enough security, which he has also sent in, and went there together to assess the area. Then from the intake, I told you that the work there is okay. We pump the water to the treatment. From the intake to the treatment is about 1.5 kilometers. From the treatment, we have different units. We have the dosing, the chemical dosing site. We have the high lift where the pumps are. We have the treatment, that is segmentation unit, that is the treatment site. And it will please you people to know that since the existence of this water scheme, we have not had have a complete setup of chemical dosing pumps, not until this intervention. And before, during our operation, our operators convey chemical, alum on their bare head, cross some stages before they went and dosed the alum, which is dosed manually. And today, we'll be sitting in a chemical room and be controlling the chemical pumps. It's a big round of applause to us. So we appreciate it. Then the valves there, the control valves there, they were all removed. The segmentation unit is filled up with mold, and it is during this project we were able to evacuate it to the total, to the ground level, and all the tank is clear. From there, the filter bed is also been removed and replaced the new ones. All necessary things there were all replaced. And the lab, the former speaker said, former lab, sorry, I will make a correction there. We don't have a lab. It is the intervention of this project we were able to provide a laboratory room for us and equipment. Now here we can test our water. You can even bring the sample of your water from pure water factory, because I know some of our others have pure water factory. You can come there and we will charge you. From there, the high leaf pumps, we pump water from the high leaf to our reservoir and the senior camp, which is Hyppadec. The pumps there were two, one duty, one standby, and all are being imported from Germany. They were installed and we tested them and they work very okay. We spent, before when we are pumping to town, we use about 3 hours before the water will get to the reservoir. Now we use less than 2 hours, the water will get to the reservoir. Then the challenge we have there, we have the challenge of understaffing. In all units we have there, we have understaffing. The operators, as I'm speaking with you right now, we're supposed to have not less than 8 operators. But what we have now as an operator is only 1. And since we have different units, one person cannot be running up and down. We've complained to the management, and the management is aware of it. They will take necessary action before the commission. And from there, we also have challenge of security, but the vice chairman has promised the security. Every unit there will be a security. Please round our applause to him. The line now from the water treatment, after we treated the water, we have to transmit the water, pump the water to reservoir before we now pump it to the consumers. During the operation, our line from the treatment to the main reservoir is made up of asbestos pipe, and that asbestos pipe is 18 inches, that is 450 DL. We have challenges due to the age. some places they are leaking, and on the line there are numerous illegal connections. I've taken over the area manager 2020, and since that 2020 to date, we only work skeleton, I think 6 months. Up to date, there was no operation. The challenge we have there is whenever people discover that water board is fixing the water system, then some people will believe that we are there busy. People will now be connecting the line in our absence. We have that problem. And now, that is from water treatment to reservoir. And we discover now everything is being calculated. The water we take from the river to the treatment plant is being metered. If I now started operation, if we pump from the intake, that is from the river, to the treatment, there is meter that will read, I have taken so volume of water from the river. After we finish the process of treatment, there will be a calculation that will tell you the waste you have there during your washing. Then the clean water will now be calculated. If we start the pumping that water to the reservoir, immediately the pump pumps. Outside the pump house, there is meter. That meter will read the water I produce that day, the hour I use, and the volume of water I produce that day. Then the water will now come to reservoir or booster. It's already calculated. Then the management is expecting me, if I produce 10 cubic liters of water, that 10 cubics, there is calculation that they will calculate and arrive at the amount that will sell that water. So that is one. Then two, the cost of power we use. Because if we operate 10 hours, the meter will read the power we consume. Now, the people, especially in millennial quarters, almost 90% of millennial quarters houses are connected on that line. But with the help of the district head, Zambia district head, with his cooperation, we are able to remove almost 60%. But we did not stop. We want to remove 100% of the connection on that rising bill. Because with that connection on that rising bill, it will take you 3 hours to pump to reservoir. It may take you 20 hours before you fill the reservoir. But without any connection on that line, it will take you less than 2 hours, the water will get to reservoir, and it will take you less than 12 hours to fill the reservoir. And it will now make you to serve many customers, many consumers, than if people are connected on the transmission line. So our challenge here is connection on the transmission line. After the transmission line, the water will get to booster. Then from the booster, the reservoir. Why the booster is being situated at the area of his there? If the youth will remember, some years back, they agitate that we should do a bypass. If I didn't remember anybody in that move, I would remember Benjamin Commission. We told them that it will not work like that. Why? Because the pressure of the reservoir, we are using gravity at the reservoir. the pressure won't go to every area in the town. So that is why we now bring the idea of situating a booster station at the office. When we were pumping, that was the pumps we put there. We calculated the tank. The booster tank is 1,000 cubic meter. That is 1 million liters. When we test run the pumps there, we use only 2 hours to fill the tank at the booster station, and still the water is still pumping to the reservoir while we are filling the booster. That is, if we are operating, assuming we have a shutdown, maybe there is no light or we have maintenance. If we resume today, operation today, we will also come to the tank today. But before, we have to stay like 5 days before we now get water that will release to the tank. That is another achievement we have here. Then, another challenges we have, the Vice Chairman has touched it, is land and our property encroachment. In our land, at the waterworks, there are people that occupy our land. At the area office, we have the challenge. The town board, the Americans who came in and they are playing their fatherly role to see they resolve the issue. We thank them very much. There are some people they build on the pipeline. There are some people they dug fish pond on the pipeline, which they are not hidden. You can see them openly. That is the transmission line. If you come to the town, our distribution line, people build shop on the distribution line, people build houses on the distribution line. But I am telling you, there will be a day that we will wake person on his bed to pump water. Because if we are pumping, the pressure is okay. One day, your house on the pipe will burst and you will have no place to sleep. So please, encourage any person you see building the structure on the pipeline, please advise him to stop. And also please, we need your assistance if there is any issue like that. During when the water board was established, that is after the commissioning, that is early 80s, the coverage, our water coverage, where our water gets to, the villages, areas that are using our water, Tada, Munai village, Yuna, the Busa township, Koro, Dugongari, Kuruasa, Karabonde, Popo, Tamanai, Air Force, Yamba, Army Barrack, Tungambuka, Wawa, Gadawoli, and also Lesube, respectively. Our water gets to that place around 80s to 90s. Coming to Niger after the handing over, there was no proper maintenance and overhauling. Around 97, that was when we started having more challenges. We started skeleton services. We have no option rather than to court to stop pumping to Wawa and Army Barrack. We have no option. Musa Town and also especially like General Hospital and Lugani cannot be able to access to water. At last, we only remain, we pump water. It is only Millennium Waters, Monai Village, Yuna, and Tada, Karabondi with Air Force only get water. Why those area enjoy water at the last time is because the transmission line passes through there. And also the reservoir is situated at Kadarbu, which is close to Karabonde and Air Force, because Nigeria Air Force, we also appreciate them. There was a time that they wanted to take over the water scheme because they are the ones that give us donation of pump twice to keep on going. So we appreciate their efforts. From there, now the present water scheme that we are is only Borgu, it's only Musa and its environs. It will not get to Wawa. Why? Because the pipeline from Wawa is from General Hospital, that is Mans Secondary School, that is the booster to Wawa, has been, some places have been broken and some places have been washed away by the rivers. I think during the low regime, we started fixing them back, but unfortunately, the work was not completed. Now, to get water to Wawa, we have to fix the pipes line. But the pump that will pump the water to Wawa has already been installed. It's a new pump. So it's there now. Maybe in the next phase, with the joint effort of local government, Emirate Council and the good people of Wawa, they will plead and solicit for the completion of that pipeline with Army Barrack. Before I round up, there are requests I want to make. That is the request I want to make is, number one request is cooperation of the consumers. That is number one request. Whatever we are doing it for the good of the land. If today we are in your frontage, if we are removing the connection there, we know why we are removing the connection. We produce water, pump water, we will not give water to anybody except the community. So anything we are doing is for the benefit of the community. Now, the new line we lay, we have an extension of 7 kilometers, which covers Tudunwali, Kwarinwali, Melonia Quarters, behind the area office, Identity and General Hospital site. We have shared that 7 kilometers. And also with the effort and assistance with the completion of the director Hyppadec, that's Engineer, we are able to sort in and include the senior camp area towards the burial ground, before burial ground, that FG house area, we are able to include that area, and also back of Donian camp, we are able to make extensions there. There are new extensions. We don't have any one single connection on them. It was after, it will be after the project, the commission, we now start the connections. We start connection, every house, anybody that is ready, we connect that house. But I want you people to know that connection will not go free. Connection will not come free. What I'm saying here, the Vice Chairman have said it. There will be a committee of every area. Anything that we do, the committee will represent the community of the people in their area. And in the case of water rate, that is paying bill, we have three methods. One, we have metering. Two, we have the estimated. Three, we have the flat rate. I want you to understand that the metering, if we are to use meter, we can't be able to put meter in every household. But we start with commercial areas. That is being pure water factory, car wash, log industry. Fish farmers are not included because area we have fish farms, there are areas situated at transmission area. And that the water we are planning to give people cannot be used in ponds because of the volume of chemical, the treatment. If we use it, they use it in ponds, it will have effect on their fishes. Now, the estimated bill, the meter, we advance to a stage that you will go to the office and buy your card. You put your card, once it's expired, the water will not rush. Now if you go to Mina, you go to our head office, you will see people recharging their cards. The second one is estimated. Now, if I will pay Yahoo PRO house flat rate, I cannot build my Borgu house honorable flat rate. Why? Because maybe Yahoo has only one wife, one toilet, and one kitchen. But my honorable has two wives, visitor room, visitor toilet, and maybe boys quarter. So if I am charging him flat rate, assuming 2,000 naira, I'm charging honorable 2,000 naira, there is no justification in the charges. Because the rate of their consumption here differs. So if we are estimating you, and you see it's too high, you will request for meter, and we give you form, you will pay, they will bring meter and install it for you. If you don't want to use water, you will remove it. Then the flat rate. We all know that to sustain this water is until we pay our dues. Without paying the dues, we cannot maintain it. Please, we should comply and we should all be law-abiding. Thank you for giving me this time. Thank you for listening to my explanation. And if there is a question, inshallah, I will be able to give you answer. And the one that I don't have an answer, I will make inquiry. I have my head office. I work under directive. So thank you once again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I only want to make an appeal. An appeal in the sense that people know what they suffer when it comes to water. And because of that, they should make up their mind and be prepared to pay for the water that will be given to them. But I also want to appeal to the other side. I want the committee to sit, think of a fair bill. Because if the other said cannot pay, will not pay. If you cannot pay, it means you will not pay. I remember about 10 years back when they introduced bill. The bill is just 200 naira. One old man ran to my house. He said, Uncle, how many bills you got? I stayed in Borgu for more than 50 years. My child went to Hyppadec. Yoga child family bill. Where the child went to Hyppadec in a month. Meaning he consumed water 200 naira in a month. How can that happen? When he stays somewhere for more than 50 years and he didn't consume 200 naira water. So our people that are complaining should think of the present happenings. One, I remember when I started work, I was taking 125 naira. When I went for NYC, I was taking 200 naira, but I used to spend only 60 naira. And today, even if you pay over 100 naira, it will not serve you. So while we make demand for a fair bill, we must know that yesterday is not the same today. If the bill is very, very reasonable, that everybody will be able to pay, they can afford. Then you have committees in every location. Let them assist the management in the collection of this. But if the bill is so high and they cannot pay, we will run into problem. Like as of today, NEPA is saying my bill outstanding is about 3 million naira. I cannot pay, therefore I will not pay. But if they say my bill is 30,000, I'll start thinking of how to pay. It will not become an accumulated bill. So I want to bring to the management to please fix a bill that the people can pay. Don't think of the bill at Mina. Don't think of the bill of the lorry. Think of the local bill. At the same time, we have industries, we have shops, we have water industries that will be able to pay a higher rate. So I want to rate us so that the poorest will pay a minimal bill. The richest in companies and other things will pay a higher bill. My next advice to the management is, please have a committee on maintenance. Today, if you take your car to a mechanic and you decide to go home and lie down, any item that is changed that is just 50 naira. You tell me that, okay, how would you move over and go and see what that. But if your committee is working, there will be transparency. It will not be easy to convince all the committees to allow the mechanics to do a bad work. Because if we can't maintain what is put in place for us today, we will lose it very soon. But if we are able to maintain it, we will not lose it. Because in the area of maintenance, if the chemicals they supply to the management is finished, we should remember if chemical is 10 naira today, it may be 15 naira tomorrow. So if you have a committee that will say, we went for chemical, we bought a bag at 50,000, and the next time it changed to 70,000, people will believe it because of the rate of inflation. So I want them please to work with committees and include the local people in the committee. Even those that cannot speak English, let them put interpret with them because this is water. And I'm very sure if you don't have qualitative water, you will not have qualitative food. Because it is the dirty water that will go into the food and you are going to eat contaminated. Thank you very much.
But when I came in, of course late, seeing the banner, I became very happy. I know better things are coming our way. The last speaker, I want to believe is from water board, right? The area manager, thank you. He spoke very well. My concern is emission systems from the point source for water to reservoir booster stations, and it gets to the public. I think a major problem has been solved. Another major one is still left behind. I said I came late, I wouldn't know if somebody else said that. This I'm trying to say, which is the reticulation. You mentioned from that axis, you covered 7 kilometers, and you still further went to extend to graveyard end. Meaning, what I understood is reticulation has not been taken care of. You are just preparing points where it will be taken to the respective households. And if that is what is going to happen, and I heard you say too that there will be commissioning, and of course after the commissioning, maybe that is when reticulation will be taken into consideration, that everybody will be given have water to drink in his or her house. So I am pleading. And sorry, before I make my plea, you said something too. From inception, the water level, the lines ran from the general hospital where we have the postal station. And it went Tamanai, Yamba, the Nigerian army, and I want to believe in that time we had 2 battalions. And the Borgu there, compound, the community we call Borgu, and it went to Wawa, from Wawa to Leshibe, from Wawa to Gadaway. So I am now my plea is, if this issue of reticulation has not come is still in the offing, I want the waterworks I'm pleading that our own reticulation issue too should be looked into, so that even if a proposal was made to Hyppadec, I'm pleading that it should capture these two, both for here and that, so that whatever money will be made, money will be provided for the reticulation, we have already taken care of it too. Because the issue of ground, we are not the only people. If we don't do that, my own thinking will be, after the people say all is done, which is my place too, but my primary place needs it. And maybe when you be taking the request, we'll be told to wait for another 2 years. And I don't think that will be too overwhelming for me and my people and our people. When the issue of Borgu started, somebody called me and said, if you want me to have Borgu, he's going to donate a Borgu. I said, left to me. If it's me that will be using it alone, I don't need it. And he was asking why. Or he did ask why. I said, my answer is simple. If you have a problem and you are in the midst of ocean, and you are finding it difficult to drink water because the water is salty. If you are pressed, certainly you drink it. We have the downside here. We have the river here, River Niger. What do we do? The broken pipes, the what do you call it, booster stations and whatever. Let's together and see how that will be done. This I'm telling you started when Talba was the governor. Talba came and left. Governor Lolo came and left. Today we are having Governor Papa. So, still on my plea. Vice Chairman, I have every reason to thank you and praise you as a youth. You are an advocate, and we should support you. So please, whenever there is a need for that articulation, if it has not been done, please, water was trying to come to that general hospital and assess it. And I'll give you a privileged information. Some 3 years ago, the water was came to us. I wouldn't know if you are aware. We were asked this same question of how will this articulation be done? I took place, I went to the barracks and met the commander. And they brought an engineer from Ilorin. We made a proposal. Even that time we said we should have 2 booster stations. Because what we are experiencing here, that land has already been encouraged by education, where we have the booster station now. So even if you want to expand now, no room for expansion. So I know that proposal is still there. You can peruse, see what you can do to assist us, have an estimate for that recognition. So that when you be having this, you manage it together. That everybody put in a dollar. If the desires are putting up, then I want to tarry. We want pipe of water. Borgu too is good. But many of the boreholes done in places now, we tend not to have respect for government properties. Vandalization. You can't believe it. It's more than water supply in Atwawa. My friends, the herdsmen, they go to the point where you have the pump and break it. But this one that the government directing is on the net. Those that are on the surface here, we had such problems. If you go to Tawana here, in fact, I was coming to Nibutan one day, I saw a tipper man. He was taking the sand, covering the pipes. I stopped. Why are you doing this thing? Why are you exposing these pipes? You are exposing it to damage. He said, Oga, I'm sorry. Shortly, my departure, the action continued. So, Vice Chairman, take note of our plea here, the government. Water was in the government. Hyppadec will listen to you all and we hope we'll get to the end of that tunnel, inshallah. Thank you.
My point here, the last speaker said if there's questions, he is ready to take possibly a response to them. All we are talking about here, we are looking for a way how to sustain this project. And I remember vividly, maybe 2022 or 2021, when we had this similar stakeholders meeting at the Royal Sophia Dogongari. When this project was about to commence, suggestions were made, questions were made, and one of the questions made that time, I still want to ask it here. The project was awarded to some experts, and as we are made to understand here, that the project is almost 80% completed. These experts, maybe they may be from elsewhere, even maybe not from Nigeria. We suggested that day all these installations that we made, as we have seen it here on the screen, that we should try as much as possible to engage our youths, so that as the project is going on, they will also be learning from them. In case if there's a problem and they left us, we should be able to handle the maintenance of those engines. I don't know, that is my question, as the project is going on, whether this couple of youth were involved to get knowledge from all the exercise carried on there. That is one question. Two, the last speaker also said that almost all the units, there's no manpower, and without manpower, you don't expect a single person to be running here and there to handle this, the units. The vice chairman, according to what I heard here, that he promised in the case of security. What about the other units that will need one manpower? So my advice here, for us to run this project successfully, hence there's no manpower. The vice chairman, the representative of the area is here. The manager said here that he has complained to the authority. Maybe that is in Mina. If you join hand, don't leave him alone. so that we will get the problem of manpower solved for those stations. Then, another one again, the manager said about giving meters estimated bills and flat rate of payment. My question again is that those that were given water, e.g. Dogongari, e.g. Popo, they are not connected to individual houses. But we have a certain point where if the water is flowing, the consumers go there and get their water. So will those people be responsible for bill payment? Because I didn't hear you mention something, though you said there will be committee. So, but it's not pronounced there. So these are my questions, and those are my advice. Thank you very much.
The representative of the Royal Highness, Borgu, security agency present here, all other protocol duly observed. I want to thank the organizers of this gathering today. A lot has been said by the first, second, third speakers. If we can build on the advices given by them, I think we are done. We will achieve a lot. The only area I want to touch, and Borgu of Wawa has already cleared the air, is for us to, remember some of our communities who have not been captured. There are a lot of communities from General Hospital, Tamanai, Barracks, Nyamba, before you get to Wawa. If that area can be fixed, I think we are done. Without wasting much of your time, I want to thank you all for this opportunity, and may Allah continue to guide us and bless us all. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
With no conclusion, with no fixed any amount. And I say there will be a committee. And the committee will sit down with the staff and Hyppadec. Then we will get to the resolution before the payment will commence. Then the second speaker, my father, Borgu, actually the legislation, which I see 7 kilometers, the bill came from the areas where marked for that 7 kilometers. There are areas that they don't have pipeline. And up to date, my father, the district head of Dantolo, is still on my neck that even in Tupunwani, the line did not get to such area. But I pleaded with them. I will make another request for that. And like only people also ask questions, I told them that Carboni has an existing line and their line is working. They only need extensions, and those extensions were not given yet. Their line, anytime we start operation, water will get to Carboni. But Carboni people, Carboni is my
home. But with sincerity, I am not exposing ourselves, but I need to see Karabonde is one of the area villages that will have a very serious challenge. There was a time they were looking for area manager. They did not meet him. They caught our former. They collected his machine and burned him in his presence, and burned the machine in his presence, and they vandalized our house. We were able to solve the problem, which the then back when they assist, and the other village heads there. From there, we now form a committee on Karabonde, and with that committee, we are able to see some changes and development. I'm pleading with them, they should please be law-abiding. They should assist us one day. I'm from online. I didn't know I would be an area manager of that water. Likewise, tomorrow, someone will come from Karabonde too, and we will need assistance. That is that. In the Wawa line, actually, I'm the one that did the that some other group captain Sonny came, and the low power also come. When they are made an assessment, I'm the one that writes the report, and I submitted to them. Even 2 days ago, we spoke with him that the project of Hyppadec is almost completed. He said we'll get back to him. So maybe we'll try and talk to them that they fix the water system. That of Anibara and Wawa is still left behind. Maybe we will get an assistant there and couple to the local government of Hyppadec. I'm assuring you that all installation, all technical works were being carried out with us. I have given them 2 staff that works with them from the beginning to end, including me, we are 3 staff. All installation were done together. So I'm assuring you, inshallah, anything that comes up, we'll be able to tackle that. Then your next question, which is water bill, that like the local line, they don't have lines in their houses. They have public tap. The public tap will be billed and Rafi will pay for it. It is Rafi that will pay for that bill. We will discuss that. I want to inform everyone here that the issue of public tap, we did not get there yet. When the committee meets, we'll be able to discuss and come up with a solution. So that is that. And lastly, Mr. Commissioner, inshallah, all your advice will be taken care of. Assalamu alaikum.
And we asked questions. And the questions we asked are as follows. Where is Wawa? And the director of operations made us to understand that the initial, these things are in settlement. So this one is stopping at that booster in General Hospital. But subsequently, the Wawa line, from their findings, their issues they need to do. Because even the army commanders came asking for that window. So inshallah, I think the most important thing, let us get somewhere started. And together we provide the leadership to see that we put pressure because the minister was of the opinion that any community from Wawa to Fapa should have access to pipe water. So I think this is where we are. So the issue of your connection to the army authorities, they are aware. So since it's an intervention, we'll go back like Oliver Twist to see that to talk about all these things. Thank you.
You're not my own. Hyppadec will say thank you. And Niger State Water Board will say thank you. We are thanking you not because you have done it, but for the fact that we initiated it and you supported it, and today it has come to reality. While we do this, at any forum where we discuss Hyppadec, I used to say we must not forget the likes of the government, who today I'm very sure, if he is to be alive, all this extension to our extension to football extension will not have been an issue that we will discuss it. Because we will not be begging. We know we shall take it as a right. But God knows why he made it that way, that he had to exit while Hyppadec was in the coffin. But today, whether we like it or not, 1982, 82, 82, 82 to 2024. I think David is a woman. She had given birth to so many grandchildren. And that same water that same system remain what it is. If we are talking of overhauling, if we cannot expand beyond what we need, then we should stay at the limit where we met that problem. When he gave me his words, that they will take it faces as the vice chairman said. I think he was there when we were discussing it. No, we are with you and we are fighting it openly and secretly to ensure that our people are not left out in getting the water. It's not just Wawa. We are thinking that any radius of 50 kilometers from Busan should enjoy what we call portable life by virtue of either electricity or water, good road, hospital, and schools. It's a policy that we are seeing how we can ensure it come into reality. And by God's grace, with our son and our governor, I have no doubt that one day it shall be kudos and everybody will be happy and celebrating. May Allah make it easy for us. The second phase is when you talk about how do we keep it going. There are two things. It's ownership and sustenance. When we talk of ownership, we are seeing it as your own. And I'm very sure you will not hold it with levity. Za ka dube shi da manza ba, za ka yi duk ya kokarin da za ka yi da tabbatar da cewa wannan mai ɓaci. Kamar misali, kamar mashin, kana da mashin, aka ce mashin da naka. Idan man shi karewa zai sama mai, kai za ka samu. Idan plugin shi ya mutuwa zai sama, kai za ka samu. Idan lokacin service ɗin shi ya zo ba zai yi ma, kai za ka yi. That is what we call ownership. To amma a wannan harkar ruwa ɗin is a different thing. Because I see us going into a very deep river to swim. We are just coming out from one river. The river we are coming out from is just a stream. That is the case of Nepal, I believe this. It's just a micro test of what we are going to face with waterborne. You should have that at the back of your mind. Why is it difficult? Waterborne requires a routine day-in, day-out expenditure. Not like Nepal. That means by the time you have some water, so much time you shekara, 5 shekara, 10, kuma ji wani matsala kan tasowa. Da wannan na tabbatar muku idan aka yi shekara ɗaya za ka fara zuwa jajje kuce Allah ya ƙare, kemika ya ƙare, a wutan gidan ruwan da ya samu matsala, a mai gadi an ji an fashe layi a hau layi, duk wa'in nan zaɓi same su. To a yayin da muka ɗauka muka ce namu ne, idan ka ga wani zai je yan abin da ba shi ba ne, to a lokacin ne za ka tsaya kai faɗa ka ce to wannan abu ma bai kamace ka ba. Ana maganar ruwa aka ce jiya ke na wani ke ban labarin maganar an ce za a fara biyan kuɗin ruwa, an ce za a bada kuɗin ruwa da ya rika yakin ya zara ko za a bace kuɗin da ya faɗa ba, so that people don't think that is the cost that they will be paying. Sai ya ce wallahi ba za mu biya ba, to tun ma kamin a samu ruwan ke ya ce ba zai biya. Sai da ce mishi wata karamin misali, yau da gari ya waye ruwan nawa ka siya gidanka, sai ce ai baro ma yanzu 2000 ne, wanda ruwan baro guda ba zai shiga cikin gida ba, kuma za ka biya 2000 za ta shiga kayan maneji, ko sai kai isa yi 2000 da gida 30 nawa zai baka 60,000 dole, kuma na yi imani har fa da wata babu za ta zo ce maka ka biya 50,000 kudin ruwa ba. Ashe ko da an ce ka biya 50,000 ne, ashe an yi maka rangwame ko? To ababen da aka ce maka wani shi ke a bangaren sustainability, wannan ba haƙƙin mu bane, haƙƙi ne na haifar da water board. Because let me tell you, I have a fear from what the presentation you have just made. If with this quantum, about 1 billion naira worth of contract is what was assigned, and at 90% completion, some and we are talking of no staff. How do you want to sustain that place? Are you going to bring parts? When there was massive amount of negative manipulation, when there was some amount of negative Susan was managing to we are still in the danger zone. When in Imani, it's an issue, thank God the VC is here and the NS is here. Wallahi, in recent times, I don't see where contracts are awarded in the tune of 1 billion naira. And yet, now, when going back to Amada Quangila, who some billion naira, say Quangila, I can go one. To achieve good dama in Masa. See, so you can't have aikin ya wurewa ka so abin yake na mu kuma kusan 80%. Ashe dama ne bisa dama baka samu. To dan Allah a barin ku ba za mu ce na san da yaro shi da kai samarin mun ne ba zan ce da yaro mutum kuma ne ba. Wallahi idan gidan ruwan bisa matsala ka samu matsala tsakanin da Allah. Let's get open to ourselves. Tun yanzu kasashen da za ka yi na sustaining wannan gidan ruwa. In ya kama ka yi kuka ne ka yi ka yi kuka ka nuna ma duniya da cewa ka nuna da ciki. A ji da ka yi tun kamin a zuwa wara spine ɗinka. I think it's the best option for you. Ba kai ke da haƙƙin ka ɗauki ma'aikata ba. Akwai wanda ke da haƙƙin ɗaukar ma'aikata. Amma mun muna cewa dukiyarmu ne domin da ana bakin ruwa ne can ana magana ma a ce ana magana bambo a ce ana magana biyan kudin ruwa ba so ba aka yi wanda ka aka kawo ma nan shi yasa yau muke magana kai fada to ashe ko kudin nan da aka dauka kudin mu ne aka dauka aka wannan gyaran da shi to kar ka bari hannun abun nan ban wata ta bace hannunka ba mu wata ta ma bace ka hannunka a nan ga uban kasa ga iyayen kasa ga ma'aikatan ga 'yan siyasa ga 'yan gwamnati ko kanka ba zai wuce inda mutane ba idan ka kai kuka a lokacin da za a tunkare ka ce bayan ga abin da ka yi ya kana iya tuwar takarda ka ce ga wasu ka rubuta ma wani ga ɗan sanda ya bani ga bayanin da wani ga ɗan sanda ya bani a lokacin kai kawo tukanka da sai ka bamu da waɗanda aka nema da su rana faɗa ya saura na a wannan lokacin ne za mu samu sustainability za mu samu ownership. Idan biyun nan ba su zo ne ba, to gidan ruwan na akwai matsala. Allah mu lura bayanin ke yin magana na kuɗi kan ma ku kawo maganar mita don ba ni iya biyan mita a yankin gada abuja mita muke yawa da shi za ka a cikin shekara yana kama kuɗi na mita na gida guda flat guda ɗaki nawa ne ɗaki da kai ruwa za a kama kuɗin ruwa 300,000 to ina kai ina biyan kuɗi an ji wani ya ce jaka da yawon ya ce jaka da ta kai caje shi ina magana shi to idan kuma aka maka kuɗi misali da ka iya biya ba to maganar wai ka ce abin nan na wani ma babu shi amma na san haifar da kun san abin da ake in the world best practice now akan maganar sustainability and ownership idan aka ce za a committee is not that we just go and bring people who is in the committee members. No, you have to bring people who know what is an operation. Wallahi kuma magana Allah ne ya ishe. Wallahi shi. Harkan gyaran ruwa idan kace za ka gyara ruwa a sha ruwa mai kyau ingantaccen ruwa Allah ta laba karama aiki ne. To da Allah ne a wannan barin zan ba da hakuri mu yi hakuri duk abin da za a kawo mana kan maganar farashi na ruwa a yau. Wallahi na san da sauƙi da kwamfiyar da abin da muke biya a ruwa a gidaje kuma idan aka zo aka ce a biya ga alayyar wakar da biya ma'aikata na yi magana na ƙarshe shi ne tubanan da ke bawa akwai al'una tsakanin mu da haifar da yawa mun ga ɗaya za mu rika tuntuɓan ku muna bibiyan ku da sauran gidajen nan an ce ya kai shekara mai da za a gyara su a yau ba mu ga gida ko guda da sun ba da minista ya zo ya fara gine-gine masu saka wai da ce unguwar su wasu ma rufin su ma an riga a wannan ɗinsu those houses are supposed to be estates ne amma yanzu duk an masu da ɗinsu da a ce an san da cewa haifar da lokacin haifar da ba ta zo ba ne amma tun da kun zo yanzu za mu tuna shi ku da cewa akwai maganin ganin gidajen nan ma ba mu manta ba don Allah sai ku kai gaba mu ma za mu kai amma ko ku kai a kai mace ku tuko a yi azuka ji ga bakin mu a nan ina mu kowa fata alheri kuma Allah ya sa abin da ya daure maganin ganin ruwa Allah ya sa ya zama magana ne na karshe ba a samu da ana samu amma kana so daga makaranta shi kowa muke zuwa bude famfo sai da wanda ya ce na kama cibin ka ba magana zuwa da ba ne a bakin famfo za ka samu in ka ta yawon nan a gama kwallo za ka shiga wani shi mutane ka gudu ta ibe da wagan kasa da za kama a kan ta wuce mutane we want to see us come back to those old glorious days Allah kuma ba mu sa na gode
wannan maganar turanci da muke cikin safe ba zai ke ko'ina ba a haɓar saboda haka nake neman in ba da shawara ga water board su yi drawing outline na membership na community da za a nada a kowane village area ko ward domin kula da wayannan na'urorin na kan na wuta na ruwa domin in duba kamar a primary care akwai standard na selection na village health committee akwai standard wani ne da wani da wani da wani saboda ka su masu fito da standard nasu domin kada a turo muna ce mu selecting committee members mu je mu turo musu rubbish a waye gari wanda ka sa ɗin ka yi son kai bai iya maka aikin ba bukata bai biya ba amma ya akwai standard you can never run out from the standard dole za a fanda wannan standard a selecting mutane za su yi wannan aiki baya ga wannan ina so kuma ita wuta boarding ta yi organizing review meeting da committee chairman na wa'ina committee kowane wata a ta review meeting a wajen wannan review meeting din za a samu bayanai na matsalolin da wa'ina committee suke tare da shawara su domin shi manaja ya yi kumulatin wannan bayanan in yi kumulatin na wannan bayanan da aka samu na committee shi ne zai aiki a kai ya nuna cewa ana samun kwanta tsakanin water board da community kusan kowane wata domin a ji matsaloli da ke tafiya don a yi rectify ɗinsu da sauri ba wai a tsaya sai ya riga ya faru ba. Bayan wannan kuma maganan security na kamfanonin mu da ke can da masuta suke batawa saboda suna sa ran taro, wallahi ba karamin matsala ba ne. Domin na san kusan shekara 20 ana faɗa da mutane masu idana ba a yi musu ba hanyar an yi ba a yi musu ba musu bari ba. Saboda haka wannan wurin yana so ba su jama ne a matsayin capacity ɗinka kana da yan banga da yare da on ground. In the interim kahin a samu an su standard abin a sa yan banga da yan civil defense suna wurin suna mountain security dare da rana domin anytime suna iya zuwa sa abubuwan su wurin. Kuma in yana yiwuwa a yi barricade wurare ko cikin rana a yi barricade da sati extent so that ba wanda zai iya approach wannan wurin domin kada a samu matsala ga famfo. Ya samu matsala ga famfo magana ya lalace ba wani abin da za a yi.
Ko manajan ma da ya fara daga scratch ina neman alfarma a bashi na a kawo wasu kuma ya koya musu sana'a saboda yan gari su ci gaba da maintain resources ɗinsu. Na ɗaya kenan. Na ƙarshe shama muna magana 4 words ne na ruwan sha. Kada ka manta faida da barbu gaba ɗaya kake ɗauke da shi. Allah ya gwada mana wata rana kan da za ka kawo agenda da yadda za su lumma shafin gabana su ma za su samu ruwan sha kamar yadda ake nan. Na gode for giving me this opportunity.
Representing the email of Borgu, manyan shugabanni tsaro da iyaye na assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Na tsaya ne domin neman agaji. Manaja na yi magana akan ayyuka da suka gudana. Ba akwai aiki guda da ya saura shi ne resettlement area wanda ita Hyppadec ta ba da kilomita 3 na gyaran ruwa na resettlement area wato gidajen busa. To alhamdulillah na kasance ɗaya daga cikin waɗanda suke sa ido a kan wannan aiki. Ba za a fara aikin ba sai an so sai ruwa cikin busa. To a lokacin da nake zagayawa cikin garin busa na yi wani discovery shi ne cewa saboda rashin ruwa na tsawon lokaci an yi gine-gine a kan bututun ruwa. Akwai kuma fire hydrants wato gurbi ne na samar da ruwa idan aka samu gobara an yi vandalizing. Akwai makullai na ruwa wasu ma an riga an daɗe wani ma an yi gini a kai. To idan aka zo za a yi wannan rehabilitation ayyukan mu zai kai nan. To yawanci matasa wanda gini bai ya riga ya hau kan bututu ba mamaki za a ce za a kawo shi. Saboda haka nan ne ke kira ga iyayenmu musamman hakimin kusa da mai girma duk sauran iyayen ƙasa da suka shafi kusa resettlement area don Allah a wayar da al'umma kai saboda ainihin shi wannan taro abin da aka sa a kira mutum nan lalle wannan aiki na nan tafi. Kada a zo a ce wannan shago ya karɓa hutu a tare shi a ce za a yi rikici da ma'aikata saboda haka nan turan gini turan zaɓe saboda haka nan kira mu ke nan ga iyayen ƙasa Allah ke kawo.
So insha Allah yadda na gaya mana shi ne local government tana ta ba da wannan leadership. So at the community, higher community level, because we are going to call it local government, because our thinking is beyond is beyond our. We want to see how yadda za mu yi break into other communities. Because models yanzu suna nuna da cewa ba dole sai an ɗauki ruwa daga nan zuwa kofanci ba, sai a dubi wani wuri close there da zai iya yi ta zama center ana wani abu. So abubuwan nan insha Allah za a dube su. So in muka koma yanzu za mu yi break yadda a fito da tsari yadda committees za ta fito daga local government level da mu dawo da shi to district level because it will be better managed muka a gane yan sai a dawo a gwamnati saboda yanzu population na karuwa kuma ana ta ci gaba so dole abubuwan nan za mu yi su insha Allah yau maganganu sun gudana duk maganganun nan ga secretariat can suna daukar minute za a zo gaba daya haifon muna da lambobin juna at wani lokaci in Allah ya da za mu zo mu sake kiran juna saboda mu biye ma yadda za mu biye in Allah ya da so ban so ku samu shakka da wannan magana sannan akwai issues na cv or no cv employment or no employment mu dai a this level ba mu da karfi mu ce muna employment tun ko muna tilasawa saboda wannan regulation ne na gwamnati the only thing we can do we appeal so insha Allah za mu fi iyaye kasar mu su sa baki saboda abun da ya kamata don mu yanzu ma abun da ba ku faɗa ba shine tsoron wanda ke manijan nan ɗan gari ne kuma gare shi aka yi wayan nan in yanzu ta yi kyau akwai interest sai a ɗauke shi daga nan a kai wani wuri and before you know it wanda bai da masaniya sai zai zama problem so mu ba muna garanti because shi man is growing ya kai wani level that he cannot control it da ya wuce nan dole ya yi kowa ga da kuma muna fatan shi ma Allah ya bai ɗaukaka wanda ya gwamna so maganar cv kuma nan wanda muke so mu engage maganar interest ne da technicality yau nan zuwa sassako wani sai duba nawa ake biya nan saboda problem da ake samu yanzu kowa yana so ya kudi ne nan da nan amma mutane sun manta cewa sai ka wahala yau waziri ka mai zama waziri ya yi musa ka mai zama musa ya yi so you must have a career path hakuri da dauriya shi ne wani abu in the need of it so muna so mu dubai wanda ƙwararru suna da interest ba wai kawai da muna so mu satisfy mutum wani sai ka sa shi yau bai nan gobe bai nan in ka ce magana ya ce a nawa ake biyan shi ko me ake mishi ba magana an mutu kudi ba ne so yawanci abubuwan nan ko masu karban bi za mu zo mu samu waɗanda muka sani za su sannan waɗannan kwamiti ne monitoring da activity akwai babban magana da ban faɗa ba shi ne da cewa duk abin da muka yi nan in muka zo muka yi da za mu je mu samu iyayen ƙasarmu da manyan gari saboda ba mu so in aka biya $1,000 a ce misali duka kuɗi ta tafi asusun gwamnati da wada at least a ɗan ba mu wani model wani abu da za ta ajiye musu wani abu saboda mun san bureaucracy in suna bukatar wani abu yanzu yaushe aka rubuta wani leta zuwa nuna yaushe aka acting sai take the next 1 month haka za mu ta zama amma wannan kuma ba muke da public din ba so amma appeal mu maza mu saboda we want something to be like a revolving fund magana yana ce maganar chemical ba mu yi wani ma magana ba yadda kake gani a cikin research building ainihin gine-gine ainihin gine gari yanzu sai an sake ruwa za ka ga flood abu ne dole abubuwan da za a yi local government ba ta da kudi da za ta yi so abun da muke biya so dole wanda a ba su kudi mu a da idanunmu na kallo musan ya ake kashe kowane dala a kan shi su abubuwan nan sannan already the work has been made easy duk wanda ya je acquiring land a kan water land gwamnan babu ya zuba da gidan mai a gida duniya ta tashi So if you do that, it's at a low risk. Because what didn't continue to become public interest supersede personal interest. So we seek for every other measure from the state to ensure that compliance. Because if you put an application, so needed is an enforcement agency. But Kasama will not be money. Akwai kwanan baya rikici aka yi wani babban wata na a millennium quarters. Sai da na zo ana ta gaya mu sabuki ya tsaye da abun nan. Sabuki ya da tafiya kawai sai aka sa sai aka zo ya ce to aikin da an sa baki amma ni ma ne fi kuwa su to wasu ina ganin ta a bari har sabuki ya to ina ganin sabuki ya dawo tun lasi har yau wasu ma sun je su sake shi sun yi breaking ba don Allah don annabi ga wata na on meet kana za ka buga shago kai KFC ne ko kai menene ne za ka sayar a kai na ce ba ka ma san wani ba it is 18 ko ne babban pipe ne 18 inches irin ruwan nan by the time zai fasa da kai da shago za a ji ana fike yanzu mutane sun je ana pon a kan sai da kan mutum ya gani ma an fiki pon pipe yana ci don Allah don annabi ina za mu je duk abubuwa da muke faɗa yanzu ga shi muna na gani kamar wani ya san babu ana we don't know who next so gaskiya we seek for that enforcement duk so dai mutum ya zo ya yi haƙuri that we are doing it for a better and greater tomorrow so muna muku godiya once again a madadin iyayen ƙasa shugabannin local government sannan babban yayanmu wanda ya sa ya tabbatar da cewa Hyppadec ɗin nan ba ta tashi shine distinguished senator Aliyu Sani Abdullahi Baradin Borgu ya tsaya tun yana senate Allah kuma ya kawo wannan abu kuma part of the table shi yasa yana bayan wannan zama ba za a faɗa abu ba kwana ne ya zo tashi so insha Allah we'll follow it to the letter and we'll get it back to the concerned people on what to do at the right time, inshallah.
The source of peace, the sustainer, limited and creator of the whole universe. The peace and blessing of Allah be upon the spirit of the Muhammad, all of the prophets of Islam, and their respective believers. And Mr. Chairman, who is the vice chairman of the Borgu, the representatives of our honorable minister, that is the Distinguished Senator of and of course Allah himself noticed that I saw program, Bible program taking place on the book, he will always be here. Allah will be here in all your times of this. We appreciate what you are doing. Who is your son? You have a wonderful father. God will help you all this. Thank you very much for taking note. Our district heads, security agents, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all that need to be said have been said by discussants and people who ask questions. And I also want to emphasize that the payment of dues have been emphasized by several others is very, very important. So there is no, in fact, state cannot hold, the entire nation cannot hold if we fail in payment of dues. Even during the advent of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, they emphasize the payment of tax. Communities don't pay tax. The Holy Prophet who are wage war against authorities. Because you are indirectly challenging the state. If we go and have revenues from where we plug oil, electricity, and the rest of them, Tinubu cannot hold the state. So we think you are challenging the authorities, indirectly challenging yourself. So please, let us be very conscious of this fact. If you are failing in payment of tax or water dues, you are failing yourself. and posterity will not forgive you.
So, sir, during your remarks, you made mention of water rates and other things. What other thing have you to tell the community? Because some may be afraid that maybe the water rate may be high.
No, the water rate won't be high because before commencement of the payment, we engage the community. We sat down together, we discuss and make resolution before we commence the payment of water bill.
Alhamdulillah, the interface so far was remarkable in the sense that all invited guests were able to come or are represented in one form or the other. The messages were carried upon, and I believe it will reach to the broader communities. If you observe, every stakeholder from all communities, especially those affected or involved in this project, was carried along. This is like a starting point for further discussions, and we pray such measure will lead to a positive relationship between the agencies involved as well as the community.
Sir, during one of your remarks, especially the Dodo of Wawa, he made mention of water reaching Wawa community, Gadaoli and Leshibe. But as far as this project is concerned, since Wawa and other environs army barracks have not been carried along, what will be your message to the Mother Commission?
The message is this. Firstly, I believe the Commission is having this project done in phases. Why? Because of the scarcity of resources at hand. God willing, when this project come on stream, we pray that the next communities, such as Wawa, Leshibe, and Gadaoli, will benefit from the next phase. If you observe from along Tamanai to Wawa, there are broken main lines that need proper management or maintenance. So I believe with time, the Commission will look into it, God willing, because even us here at the end of the area office, we are making reports on that regard. And we pray by the grace of God, the Commission will do its best.
Sir, during one of the remarks, issue of encroachment on the water facility came up. You as the head of the local government, what efforts are you going to make to ensure that this encroachment issue is being resolved?
Already there is an order from the state under Farmer Honorable Umaru Mohammed Borgu. All government land that have been encroached should be recovered. So I want to believe that for those who went and they are agents to give them those land, they are on their own, because you are aware in Mina, a filling station, completed one was brought down. So here we will not take that with liberty. We will report to the state to ensure compliance. So if you know, because even if it's not on water line, and today development comes to pass through there, public interest supersede the personal interest. So we ensure it is complied with.
Another thing is that it's taking ownership of this project, sir. In a situation where the community is not living up to expectation concerning taking ownership, especially when making bills, payments of bills and other things, do you think the local government can augment?
The local government cannot augment because the local government just get party sums, and how do you sustain that? You can't. So the issue is that if you don't want a service, you don't pay for it. So you should be cut off. That is it. You go outside, you pay. Then you come back home, you want to lord over everybody. No.
Thank you for it.